Every 2 years, Chessbase releases a new version of their Chessbase software. So this is the year that a release will take place, and that release is just right around the corner, and that will be Chessbase 17. I was permitted to use a beta version for evaluation, and it's my pleasure to bring you this beta version and just to give you some snapshots and some of the features to expect in Chessbase 17. So largely, as you can see, it looks a lot like Chessbase 16, but don't let that fool you because there are technical improvements as much as just user friendly improvements. So let's just jump right into a technical improvement right off the bat. And that would be if you see my Mega Database 2022 right here, I have converted it to the new file format, which is 2CBH. This essentially uses fewer files. And so basically, it makes the file search faster, and you can do a lot more dynamic things with the database in terms of searchability. So it's a great technical improvement because again, you're talking dealing with over 9 million games. Anything that makes search and parsing down database faster is always a welcome addition. Now, leading right into that, another feature that is great that they've added usability to is the search feature of the database. So now when you go to search, you are greeted with a screen that looks like this. Now it used to be a screen if you hit this advanced button. This is kind of what you used to would see, just this right here. And again, this is very powerful, but again, you have to sort of kind of input a lot of different things and to pare down what types of games to play and all what you're looking for, which is still a very, very powerful tool. But it's just been made a lot more user friendly and a lot more faster with this new search filter. So with that said, let's just go ahead and click the database, click everyone. And what will happen is that it'll just put everybody's name here, basically in order here. And when that happens, you'll begin to search people's names. And the biggest thing that I really like about this way that this search feature right here is carried out, as you'll see here in a second, is that when you search a player by their last name, you can pick the precise player. Like, for example, there are multiple Petrosians in the database. There are multiple Kasparovs in the database, for example. So to give you an example, let's just type in Kasparov. As you can see straight away, it's lining up all of these names. You can see there are multiple Kasparovs in the database. You can therefore pick whichever Kasparov you want specifically. If we go to Fischer, it's the same thing. You have multiple Fischers in the database. So if you just type in Fischer and don't do a lot more really specific tuning to your parameters, you're going to get a lot more games that you really don't want. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and pick Robert James Fischer, click OK. And as we can see in this database, he has 985 games in the Chessbase database. Okay. So you can go by date. Let's just go ahead and say 1960 to say 1970, just for an example. Click that. Now we paring it down again to 642 games. We can go by strength. We won't pick that. You can go by opening. I mean, just you can go by so much from the white side or the black side. And you can go by event. You can also go by position, where you can put that position in. And also you can go by material. So let's just go by event just to make it a little bit more interesting here. All right, let's go, I guess, Rosenwald tournament. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Rosenwald. And since we picked the 60s, let's just pick this guy here, 66, 67 tournament. I mean, a trophy. And now we see 11 games are found. So he played in that tournament, obviously. So we hit search. And what will happen is that now we're greeted with just those games. So that makes that search a whole lot easier. You can do it with the other screen, but it's just a lot more user friendly. And anything much more user friendly and deals with speed is always a welcome addition. All right. So The next feature that I think is very important, if you go here, open up Mega Database here, and if you go here to games, and if you go to if you go up top to games, you'll see this thing here called Set Beauty. So what it's going to do is going to calculate the beauty of each game, and it'll in this new column here now, it'll assign it a certain number of these gold medals to let you know how beautiful the game is. So let me show you how this works. I'm not going to do it right now because if I do my whole entire database, it might take several hours for this to take place. What's going to happen is that it's going to have to play through each individual game, and it's going to give it a beauty score. And so why is that important? Well, say if you just wanted to go through the database and just find some beautiful games, well, you can just kind of search, say, I want games that's basically, say, 2 medals and higher, 3 medals and higher. You're able to look up beautiful games in a very easy fashion that way. And you start with whatever game number you want, enter it, and it does every game from that number below. And that's important because, say, right now, if I do all my games, all 900 and something million, and I update my database with, say, 50,000 games, I will start at that next to the last number that I ended with, and it will do everything below that because it's not going to automatically perform this beauty designation without you telling it to do so. All right. So, with that said, that's some of the features that I think are very much important. There are lots of other technical resources that's been added to this version of Chessbase. And lastly, I would just for new people, I would do a very quick overview of just what's going on this screen and what will go down in the board screen when you open it up. So here in the middle, we have databases right here. These are small databases I made. I can right click them, hit properties, and assign them different icons, that sort of thing, or different designations, different names, and so on and so forth. Um, also, let's say here, if I change the sound, let me put those back to icons. If you buy any software from Chessbase, it will show up here when you open it. So in this case, I have these 4 DVDs. Again, once you double click that icon, it just opens that right up, and you have all of that information right here you can use to go through your Chessbase DVD. And other things you can add here is this clip database. This clip database is basically a small database that clips games. Say when you go to the Chessbase website and you just look at a game on that website, and if you're logged into your Chessbase account and you're logged into your Chessbase 17, it just adds this game to this small database. So say if you want to refer to that game later, or you may think about a game you saw on Chessbase websites a few days ago, you come here and look at this clip database, and if you looked at it, it'll be within this database. Here, if you want to add new games to your database, you just click this new games button. I just updated my database, so I'm not gonna go through that, but it should be self-explanatory. It automatically pings Chessbase's game server to add games if any games are available to your mega database if you own a valid license for that. Now, my favorite thing on this screen, other than all the cool features over here that's in these menus we won't really talk about, is live. Click live. What'll happen is that Chessbase has live data feeds coming from all of the major tournaments around the world. So we look here, look at all these tournaments that are going on around the world. The Polish Youth Championship, Grand Prix in Romania, FIDE Women's Candidates, the Fall Grandmaster, Norm Invitational in Charlotte, the Italian Chess Championship, the Meltwater CCT Finals, and so on. So any tournament that's been played live that's of a high level that they have data feeds to will show up here. But the best thing about the screen, other than that, is that you have live tactics. For example, if we double click tactics, these are live tactics that are pulling from games that are currently being played live, where that's coming through their live feeds. So therefore, you'll be able to just have some nice new fresh tactics if you want to test your tactic skill out. For example, we click this here, you can it'll present you with a thing and it says white to move, and you play to solve this puzzle, for example. All right, so on the novelties, it's the same deal except for pulling from current games as are being played novelties. Like, for example, here we have novelties in the Fall Classic, novelties in Meltwater, novelties in Italian Women Championship, and you can just click these, and what will happen is game will pop up and it'll show you where the novelty happens based on comparison to the live database, and to, I guess, also the database you have installed here locally on your computer. So Queen to D3 is a novelty. So apparently all the way up to move 22 here is theory, but 22 apparently Queen D3 is an interesting novelty. So that means that that's interesting. Now, more people may want to look into that and explore that since it's considered as interesting. All right, so now let's back out of here. Now, the last thing I want to show you, we open up our board here. Let's pull this up into view here. Here, you're going to have your notation here when you make moves. Reference is a good one here. Now, I'm going to tell you why I like reference. Say if you want to find games that are, you want to find out who played an opening you like. All right, so starting position, if you look here all the way back to 1475, every game in a database has this position because this is the starting position. Let's just make a few moves, E4, E5. And as we see, now we're down to 379,000 games. But let's play a move that we may think might be of interest to us and see have any grandmasters played it. What about A3? As we can see, this pared it down to so many that says not enough recent grandmaster games. But however, you are presented with a large number of games that pull from the database. So if you want to search, so in other words, this is just an example. If you want to search, a particular opening you like that might be somewhat offbeat, and this is a perfect way to search games from higher level players than yourself to see how they played it and what was like most likely the result and that sort of thing. And also you can also click these where you see here variations. You get variations here, popularity throughout these years, and end games are interesting because you can see like what type of end games you just might get and what type of end games you just might have to prepare for. All right, so we go back here. I've already explained replay training in another video. If I find anything new under replay training, I'll update that video. Everything here should just be somewhat self-explanatory. Well, maybe plan, explore, counter. If you want to think about different types of plans, different openings, and go through different type of trees here, this is a very extensive thing to go through. So if you were to get Chessbase, this could just be something of interest if you want to see what types of plans you might want to play in a particular position. And you know what? I've never made a video on a plan explorer, so I may end up making a video just dedicated to that. So with that said, that was a brief introduction to the new Chessbase 17 that's right around the corner. The new feature, some of the new features that it will have, and just for newcomers who may be on the fence about Chessbase software, just giving them just an overview of how to use the software. And again, I will be coming back with more detailed videos on these newer features and maybe some other features like that Plan Explorer. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.